Welcome to Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show. It's Tuesday, it's 6:05. The man down there, Dashing Derek. The man in the middle, Angelo Stefano. My name is Devon. We appreciate you guys very much for tuning in to the show. We are going to start it off with the Macho Man Randy Savage. You want to give us the impression right off the bat?
Yeah.
Born November 1952 in Columbus, Ohio, Savage grew up in the family royalty of wrestling. Definitely became a pro wrestler and actor. Rose to fame in the 80s and 90s. He's got the distinct voice and the catchphrases. Anyone that sticks in your mind? Is Slim Jim better or bigger than
Slim Jim?
Is Slim Jim?
They're still doing those commercials today. So
or is Oh Yeah is like the
ooh yeah, I think
I would say he's probably more well known for the Slim Jim commercials.
Yeah,
I mean, those
true.
are hugely popular.
The Cream of the Crop.
cream of the
That guy that goes in there as well. Too hot to handle.
Yeah.
Too cold to hold. Macho Man Randy Savage, of course, he had so many great moments. He first won the Intercontinental title from Tito Santana in the Boston Garden, the old Boston Garden, in 1986. Do we remember that one vaguely
I do.
a little bit?
I do,
Like,
yeah.
it was such a good moment. I love the golden era is my favorite era of pro wrestling. So going back and watching that is always super cool. Of course, you had the Mega Powers when they exploded. I mean, that was a year-long feud with Hogan.
All because Hogan had lust in his eyes. That's my favorite Macho Man promo is, "You got lust for Elizabeth."
True. And then that was back when, like, I mean, he brought it so much. Like, you actually thought he was like,
he was intense.
you were like, he really hates him.
You're like he is.
Yeah.
You're like he is off his rocker. You just can't handle the jealousy.
Yeah.
It was great.
That
It
Mega
looked-
Powers. Oh, you can go ahead.
It looked believable,
Yeah.
and as every smart person in wrestling will tell you, the more believable, the better.
That is true.
Yeah, the Mega Powers storyline definitely had me hooked as a little kid, and it was so long too. You know, it spanned a couple of years. You had Savage winning the world title at WrestleMania.
So WrestleMania 4, another
and then
great
Mega
moment
Powers
for
exploding.
Savage.
So yeah, it was definitely a long.
And that was
feud.
that was at the old Bradley Center in Milwaukee,
It was.
wasn't it?
It
Yeah,
was,
That's
yeah.
that whole thing. Of course, there was so many other great moments. He was he was in Thunder in 2000. He had this match with Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. How can we forget that? One of the best matches of
that
all
was
time.
probably like my introduction to Randy Savage.
I think
yeah,
that's a top 5 match you could argue of all time.
for sure.
21 false finishes, I'm just reading here. Ooh. Less than 17 minutes of action. They had 160 steps that they memorized throughout the whole thing. Back when the average was about 8 false finishes, they like tripled that. So I know a lot of people might watch it now and be like, oh, well, it is, but like during that time, 1987, 30 plus years ago, I mean, that was insane.
You didn't see that in a match. It was. I don't know if that had ever really been done like that before.
Yeah, I think it was one of the great things, and even Chris Jericho to this day talks about how him and his buddy memorized that match and did it, and then he finally got to work Steamboat later on, and he's like, all I wanted to do was to like roll me up into the thing and pin me, and so it's such a magical moment with Randy Savage.
And then Randy Savage dropping the ring bell on Steamboat's throat too. That was super memorable.
Right,
also.
right. The larynx, I remember that, like leading up. So like that was
that over and over
86, I think, and then they didn't touch during that whole time too, which made it even more phenomenal. From like late 86 all the way till WrestleMania 87, and that was another thing as a kid, about a 9-year-old kid. I was like, he can't breathe. He's
so devastated.
Yeah. It was absolutely incredible. Well, very few wrestlers combined the ring ability, charisma, and the intensity as the Macho Man. Of course, well, we lost him to a fatal heart attack in 2011. His legacy definitely lives on. The action figures, all the good stuff that is still out there, as you said, the Slim Jims. Any moment that sticks out to you right away when people say Macho Man, what's the first thing you go to?
It's the slogans and the T-shirt. He had such an iconic T-shirt that's still very popular today. You see a lot of people wearing it. But yeah, Savage Steamboat definitely sticks out. And then his time in WCW, at first, they tried to recreate the Mega Powers in WCW, but then he left for a little while, came back, and then I remember flipping channels between Raw and Nitro, and Savage came out and he said, "I'm blackballed from the industry." I'm like, what's going on here?
Sure.
And then I think they were supposed to have a match, and he just beat up both of the competitors. And then Sting came out, and then he left through the crowd with Sting. And then, of course, the feud with DDP is very memorable too. Like we talk about the intensity that he brought, like it felt real, you know. And then they added Kimberly, DDP's wife, into the mix, and that just added more realism to it. But those are definitely moments that stick out about Macho Man for me.
Stefano, do you have a favorite moment at all besides Miss Elizabeth?
Yeah.
I remember when I first saw him come into WWF at the time, and he would pull Elizabeth in front of him, and it was
the chicken S heel.
Yeah, it was great theater. You know, you're like, oh my God, he's holding his woman in front of him because he doesn't want to get hit, and you just like you really wanted to see someone get at him and give him his comeuppance, and I don't remember seeing anything like that before that either. So it was new.
Yeah, it just oozed right through the TV screens.
Yeah.
All right, we are moving to Derek's game, Deal or No Deal. Explain to the fine folks what we got going on.
All right,
today's
who's
show.
going to be playing here today? We're going to play a little
Stefano.
Deal or No Deal.
Deal or No Deal.
wrestling
Everyone knows that show.
edition. So we took 20 pro wrestlers.
All right, we got to show the
rank them 1 through 20.
briefcases there. All right, 1 through 20.
1 through 20.
Yeah.
So basically, the $1 million prize is going to be your main event guy, and then we got a $1 wrestler. So you're going to pick a briefcase, and who you pick is going to be your world champion, the guy that
you got this. You got
to build the company around. So what briefcase are you picking?
This is a lot of pressure. Let's go with lucky number 7.
Nice, I like it.
All right, lucky number 7. We're going to set that off to the side. Lucky number 7. All right, so now you got to eliminate 5 briefcases.
I will eliminate 1 through 5.
1 through 5.
Whoa,
We're
making
just
it
gonna
easy.
go
1 through 5.
Let's go right down the line.
All right, let's open up the briefcases. Let's see who he eliminated. Number 1 was Wardlow.
Oh,
Wardlow.
Okay.
So kind of middle of the road, up and comer. Yeah. So we're getting rid of him. Number 2 was Samoa Joe, AEW champion.
Okay.
So another guy that's right there in the mix. Number 3, Jay White. You got rid of Jay White.
I'm doing good.
No.
You feel like you're doing good? All right.
I think I'm doing good.
Number 4, you got rid of The Miz.
Definitely doing good.
You're feeling better about that one?
Feeling good.
And then number 5, you got rid of Matt Cardona.
I'm the man so far.
So you're sitting all right. So we're going to try to make a little deal or no deal. Do you want to take Jeff Hardy?
No.
No deal?
No deal.
Deal?
No deal?
Would you take
No deal.
Jeff Hardy?
At one point during my wrestling fandom, he was probably my favorite character wrestler, but no deal.
No deal. All right, we got to eliminate 5 more now.
Let's go 11 through 15.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my. 11 through 15. All right, let's go. Let's open up number 11. Gunther.
Ooh,
We got rid of Gunther.
That was a good one.
That's a
Yes.
yeah, it's tough.
That's where the crowd just made a lot of noise of it. Ooh.
Number 12, we're opening up AJ Styles.
Okay, I can live. I can live.
Can
with
you
that.
live with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 13, you got rid of Big E.
I can live with that.
Okay. Number 14, you're going to be heartbroken over this, I think.
Uh-oh, who is it?
Orange Cassidy.
Oh, pockets!
Orange Cassidy. What? You got rid of that?
Get rid of that goof.
Okay, this one, number 15, Roman Reigns.
Oh.
You opened up Roman Reigns. I don't know. Let's see. You got rid of Roman Reigns, Orange Cassidy, Big E, AJ, Gunther.
Deal or no deal?
I'm going to offer you Eddie Kingston.
No deal.
No deal?
Eddie
We're not
Kingston
taking
for
Eddie Kingston.
briefcase number 7?
All right.
No deal it is.
All right, we're going to continue on. Let's eliminate 5 more briefcases.
16 through 20. Let's do it.
Oh my goodness. This man is wild.
16 through 20. Another one you're going to be heartbroken. Number 16, we're going to open up Kenny Omega.
Oh,
I can live with that.
No, what?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Oh,
I
Kenny
wouldn't.
Omega as your
material.
champion.
No, God,
Oh my gosh. Number 17, John Moxley. Another AEW.
no loss
You're-
there. No.
You're feeling pretty
Yeah,
good
feeling
still.
Good. Feeling good.
Number 18, we're gonna open up. QT Marshall.
Hey, feeling all right?
I'm
QT's
feeling good. I'm
He's
feeling
good.
good.
He's a good worker.
Yeah,
He's a good
He's
worker.
good. He's got a nice
Yeah,
hot dog tan,
He
too.
wouldn't be my champion.
Okay.
Number 19, you got rid of somebody kind of young, Dirty Dom Mysterio.
Ooh, I like Dom, but he's a little young yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
just got married. What are you talking about, Lil Young? Shout out to
Yeah.
Dom.
Well,
his
then
lady.
he's got time to fix getting married.
Oh, no.
All right, and number 20, we're gonna open up Alexander Hammerstone. How you feeling about that
Fine.
one? Like, is
No problem.
Guy jacked
no
up.
problem.
He's great guy.
Doing
Yeah.
good.
all right. Let's see. We got 4 left,
Briefcase?
and
Briefcase
he's
number
got
7?
He's
What
got
do we do?
briefcase number 7.
What's my deal?
What are you going to
You
offer?
got
What are you
rid
gonna
of Kenny Omega, John Moxley, QT Marshall, Dominic Mysterio, and Alexander Hammerstone. So, how about Christian? As a world champion, Christian.
He is
I'm gonna-
the patriarch.
I'm gonna
Baller.
say no deal.
No deal.
Oh, no deal.
No deal. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're getting rid of Christian here. So you got briefcase number 7. We're gonna open up 3 more briefcases. 3 more. The final round, right here.
8, 9, 10.
8, 9, and 10. So we got 6 and 7. He's got 7 that he's holding on to. Number 8, you got rid of Tozawa.
Okay.
How you feel? You feeling okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. Number 9, you got rid of Hook.
Oh.
Another young.
Too young. I can live with that.
All right.
By the way, who's holding briefcase number 7 right now? Which diva or lady wrestler is holding 7 right now as we speak? You know how the ladies did that?
right?
Who is
we
it?
got holding?
Sherry Martel?
Britt Baker. You know, we got Miss Elizabeth. Maybe we were talking about her before. So.
Alright.
All right. Number 10. We're gonna open up your last briefcase that we're gonna open up. CM Punk. So we got rid of CM Punk. All right.
That
so
one hurts. That one hurts.
That hurts bad.
I'm gonna tell you that you're sitting pretty good, I think. So you got number 6 and number 7. You're doing all right, I think. So I might have to step up my game a little bit. Chris Jericho. I'm gonna offer you Chris
wow.
Jericho as your world champion. Are you gonna take that over your briefcase? Are you gonna
Ooh,
keep
you
your
can see
briefcase?
the smoke is coming out of the ears.
No deal. I
Oh,
want to see what I
Okay,
picked.
Oh,
so
wow.
we're gonna open up number 6.
So we got
Okay.
6 and 7 left, right?
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna make a deal. You can keep your number 7, or you can open up number 6.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
Deal or no deal?
No deal.
No deal.
I want to see who I picked.
Well, let's open up briefcase number 6. Cody Rhodes. You could have had Cody Rhodes as your champion, so you're stuck with number 7. But let's see what your briefcase is. Number 7.
Drum roll.
You ended up with MJF.
Oh!
Yeah!
So
Yeah!
you're feeling pretty good about that? MJF
Perfect.
as
That's
your
wow.
world champion.
I would have picked him anyway.
There you go. Deal or
Yeah.
no deal, wrestling edition. Stefano ends up with
I'm the
MJF.
greatest. I am the greatest
Wow.
game player of all time.
Yes, he was ranked number 3.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. The stars were definitely aligned. And we got a little old school and new school here on the panel. And we usually discuss this off camera, the difference between old school and new school, which is better. Do you like this school, this school? Comments, questions, concerns. Do you like the new school? Do you like the old school? For me, I feel like the new school has a lot to offer as far as athleticism. It's a lot more athletic. Would you like to see Phoenix versus Hillbilly Jim? Probably not, but like Phoenix versus Ospreay would be an amazing match. I feel like the women's evolution, obviously the Charlotte Flairs, the Bianca Belairs of the world, is way better than Judy Martin and Wendy Richter and Rockin' Robin from back in the day. The new school also probably has better innovated moves. I feel like they utilize all the rings, so there's no more just like claws and bear hugs and stuff like that. They do a lot of cool moves. So that, like, to me, new school brings that to the table.
I feel like I know what you're going to say, so I'm going to take the opposite. And I do agree with it. I'm going to go with new school wrestling. Pro wrestling is always evolving. And I know you're going to say, like, hey, the people, the wrestlers, they need to slow down a little bit. They're doing too much. And Chris Jericho and X-Pac, Sean Waltman, they've talked about this in the past where, like, when they were coming up, the older guys, the veterans, told them, like, hey kid, you need to slow it down, but it's like they were smaller in stature, so they had to do those things to stand out. But yeah, I feel like the moves, like you talked about, are always like one-upping each other, and we tend to look back at older wrestling, you know, like it's nostalgia, like, you know, you go back and you put on, like, you know, a Bob Backlund match or a Bruno Sammartino match, and it's very generic, but you hear people from that era talk about it like it was so amazing, but then you go back and watch it and it's like, like, this is okay, like, they're kind of just grabbing a headlock, and, you know, it's very slow and methodical. While I can appreciate that, but I'm going to go with the new school, the modern wrestling.
Well, I think you guys know where I'm going, and
old school.
Let me put my own unique spin on this.
There we go. Lay it into us.
I'm a grumpy old man.
Grumpy old man.
I'm a grumpy old man. I don't like the way things are now, and I like the way things used to be.
Oh boy.
Back in my day, we didn't have flippity flops and backflips off the top rope. What they had was a headlock, and it lasted 3 hours, and we liked it. There were no ladder matches. You didn't climb and grab a briefcase. You got put in a headlock for an hour and your ears got all cauliflowered and broken down and mangled. And when you went home to your wife and kids, they went, oh no, my dad's a circus freak because he's got cauliflower ears. And they liked it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what we just witnessed there, but it was phenomenal. Old school grandpa.
That was very old
man.
school.
Dana Carvey?
Yes. No, shout out to Dana Carvey. Absolutely. Old school does bring a lot of cool stuff to the table. Maybe that's why The Fiend stuck out so well. They had a lot of great characters. The Honky Tonk Man, Jake Roberts, the Roddy Pipers of the world. A lot of great characters. I think the old school also brought managers. I think that was another thing where you had Fuji. I mean, the list is Fuji, Hart, Heenan,
Jim Cornette.
Yep. So many good ones. Now it's like, well, you have the Paul Heymans and Prince Nana and stuff. They're just not as much.
Not the same. Jim Cornette and Bobby Heenan, to me, by far.
Oh, Mount Rushmore. That's not even close.
Yeah. Top two by a mile. I mean, lots of great managers. Don't get me wrong, but Jim Cornette, Bobby Heenan, to me, you could interchange them 1 and 2. Both my favorites.
Yeah, another thing that old school is probably the champions. When you were a world champion back in the day, you carried yourself with class on and off the court, in the ring. We're talking about like the Harley Races of the world, the Dory Funks, the Nick Bockwinkles. Now it's like, well, the title could change any given show, any week. I mean, you just don't have that prestigious champion at all.
Yeah, and that's one thing that WWE, I think, is doing well recently, is having those longer champions with Roman Reigns and Gunther. Like, you know, back in our day, you can name every single champion, whereas, like, in the Attitude Era, it was like Crash TV, where it was like, it's switching from guy to guy to guy, like, you know, so definitely that long-term story.
It adds more, to me, it adds more meaning, more prestige to the championship.
Yeah.
If it's switched every week and everyone gets a chance at it, well, it loses, it diminishes the championship, the title, the belt, whatever you want to refer to it as. Longer reigns are more interesting. Who's going to break? Who's going to take? Who's going to take?
I agree with you on that.
You know, it adds to the drama, adds to the intrigue, and that's a lost art. You know, I like what they're doing with Roman with the very extended title reign.
Yeah.
Gunther with the IC title now, same thing. Who's gonna knock Gunther off? It's a fascinating story. Who can do it?
Yeah, another thing I'll add to the old school last is the anticipation of what waited us for the night is the programs. The programs back in the day, phenomenal and a great piece to have. You know, if you're a collector at all, the programs they just don't have those anymore, right? Like such good stuff. Old school, new school. Let us know in the comments which one you prefer. Old school, new school. Right now, we are throwing it to pro wrestling superstar. I recently had the chance to sit down with Ja C. Hear his take when he got involved in some WrestleMania. Ja C on the program. We are here with pro wrestling superstar Ja C. Thanks for joining the show today. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So it is WrestleMania season. The Bloodline, The Rock, everybody's going crazy with the hashtag We Want Cody. Being a pro wrestling fan, comments, questions, concerns, anything come to mind when you hear that stuff?
You know what? Wrestling feels bigger than it's ever been right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's kind of crazy to be in the middle of a wrestling boom and on the independent scene, feeling like the ripple effects and whatnot. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like going into the big show itself, man, I'm all for like a Family Feud type.
Family
thing.
Feud.
That's what we got going on, man.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I'm not picking sides.
No, not picking
Too
sides.
diplomatic for that.
So if some of our listeners and watchers out there don't know, Ja C was part of the Dominic Mysterio entrance. How was that experience? Do you have any great stories? Or I mean, that had to have been an adrenaline rush walking down the aisle for something like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, you don't really know what walking out in front of 80,000 people looks like or feels like until you walk out in front of 80,000 people, man. And it's like that tried and true statement of it being electrifying and like having goosebumps go up and down your spine and up your forearms and stuff like that. You feel the prinkles in your toes, man.
Sure.
Like, it's crazy. It's an exciting time.
I can't even imagine the electricity, like you said, just going through your body. Like that's nothing can compare to that.
No, it's like it's our Super Bowl.
Yeah,
man.
basically
You know,
Super Bowl.
It's our Super Bowl.
Absolutely. All right, so if we're taking one of the long car rides with Ja C, what are we listening to? What is all in our ear hole right now?
Oh, a whole lot of Kendrick Lamar and a whole lot of J. Cole, Jay-Z, Michael Jackson, Prince are always in rotation. Maybe a little Eddie Van Halen.
Okay, some great choices. So if you're familiar with the verses, if there was ever a Kendrick versus J. Cole, who's coming out on top for that?
Oh, why'd you do that?
Yeah, put you on the spot.
Why'd you do that?
We'll call it a tie. We can call it a tie.
You know what? It's hard because I'm biased, and you know, a lot of the mainstream stuff differs from the lyrical thing that I'm into. You know, Frontman is all about the lyrical stuff. So like, if I'm going for wordplay stuff, Kendrick eats him up.
All right.
But there's always a but.
There's always the but.
There's always a but. J. Cole ain't no slouch.
Yeah.
He might have him on top 10s.
Okay. I know I'm with you.
I don't know. That's another diplomatic answer.
Right.
I can't pick a side. I gotta have them up in front of me, man. I mean, how many songs are we doing? Was it 6 songs?
6 songs,
is that
10
what
songs.
It is on the verses?
Yeah, I don't know what
6
they do.
songs?
I think they do that. They might do the whole catalog.
Yo,
if I'm not mistaken, but
it's
it's a tough call.
deep.
It's
That's
deep.
deep.
For sure. Being a Midwest pro wrestler, you got the chance to work at the Mall of America, right?
I did.
How is that, knowing the history with WCW?
Dude, I'm a big sap, man. You know, I grew up watching every documentary imaginable, and I was always a WWF guy.
Sure.
As a kid,
Same with me too.
The
Yep.
Rock, Triple H, all those guys, those are my dudes. But on those documentaries, the WCW best of, and they had that aerial shot of the Mall of America packed to the
Yes.
brim.
Oh my God, it's
Frickin',
iconic. Yeah.
The freaking Brian Pillman Jr. versus Jushin Thunder Liger.
Great
You
match. Great match.
got Hogan in the main event with was it Boss Man that night?
Gosh, it could have been
Was it Boss Man?
Somebody will fact check us right
Yeah.
now, I'm sure, but yeah.
Fact check
Yes.
me on that. You know, I tell everybody, man, you got to think about this. Put this in perspective for everybody watching out there right now in TV land. In all of the history of professional wrestling, the biggest mall in America, right? Biggest mall in America.
Right.
The only people to ever headline that joint: Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair.
Yep.
Who's rocking that ruffle feather shirt? Ruffle feather shirt.
Ruffle feather shirt. Yeah.
Lex Luger? Come on.
Lex
Come on.
Luger?
Lex Luger. Yeah,
Lex
that
Luger.
experiment right there.
Yes,
That
that's right.
experiment right
My
there.
gosh, how can we forget
Lex
that?
Luger.
Yes.
And another dude, the Frontman Jah C.
Jah C
Like,
was
how is
there.
that the legacy, guys? I didn't even have to wear a ruffle feather shirt.
Right. I mean, that's the perfect Mount Rushmore right there, if you ask me.
And I did it twice.
Did it twice?
Did it twice.
Okay.
No, not to-
Fair enough. No, I think then you one up
Gosh.
them there for sure. Would you ever jump out of a plane, do skydive, or have you?
Oh gosh, no! I'm keeping my 10 toes on the ground, brother. What are you talking
No,
about?
I'm with you on that.
What are you talking about?
I just had to throw it out there. 2024, where else can we see you, Jah C, down the road? Anywhere? You're gonna be working Mania, you know, gonna be going out to Philly, or got any big shows coming up?
I got a lot of things planned up right now. You know, if you follow me on Twitter, I'll be making some announcements coming up here soon. You know, at Frontman Jah on Twitter.
I was just gonna say, if any of the fans out there,
Pretty good at
where
this.
can they follow you, or what's the best one? Twitter, X, Instagram?
Twitter X. That's right. I'm an old
Do we
timer.
still call it a tweet, or do we X it out now?
I think we exit out.
Okay.
Exit out, like get the F out. That
Yeah.
sort of thing, you know what I mean? You know what? Yeah, that's the best place to keep me talking trash. But you know, the Instagram, that's where I get a little bit artsy fartsy.
I love it. There you go. Jah C, pro wrestling superstar, ladies and gentlemen. Back to YouTube.
All right, we appreciate Jah C for taking the time for that nice little interview. He's a great wrestler.
Yeah,
making
he's
his
got
rounds.
loads of charisma. Definitely check him out if you see him on the independent scene around the Midwest. But a good talker, a good look. Just Jah C, the front man. Be on the lookout.
Yes, all right. We are going to test your knowledge of who trained who. The battle between Dashing Derek and
Oh, boy.
Stefano.
right.
All right, you guys ready?
Let's go.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Who goes first? Him
Well,
or I?
you say your name.
Say your name. Derek.
Derek.
I'm gonna say it's gotta be an older, a Sheik, some kind of Sheik.
No, Sheik was in the class, though.
No.
Stefano, who was it?
Vern Gagne.
Vern Gagne,
Ah,
correct. Sergeant Slaughter. Let's go to Triple H, the game.
Derek.
Derek.
Killer Kowalski.
If I had a bell, ding, that would be correct.
1-1.
We are going to one of the greatest athletes of all time, a guy that I think they slept on throughout his journey when he was with the Federation, Sheldon Benjamin. Sheldon
Gosh.
Benjamin, who trained Mr. Benjamin.
He was in Ohio Valley Wrestling, right? Derek.
Oh, Derek?
Was it Danny Davis?
Danny Davis for
yes.
the win. They thought you would have been all over that, Stefano.
He out-buzzed me or rang in
Out-buzzed
first. Or
All right, and the final one, your favorite worker, Mr. Darby Allin,
Oh.
the Daredevil himself. Who trained Darby
Oh, I
Allin?
know this.
Pass.
Derek. He was a Seattle guy.
He was. Think of who he's. Somebody out there
the
screaming right now.
Edge of my tongue is Buddy Rogers? Buddy.
Who's the
Buddy.
Buddy?
It's Buddy.
It's Buddy.
I
Buddy
can't think-
Wayne.
Buddy Wayne.
Nick Wayne's
Oh,
Christian, and they got
Yes.
the wife out there. Yes,
I knew it.
Don't give it to him.
All right, you get nobody. So
How did I not get
You
that?
lost.
Come on.
All right, that about wraps it up for the show for this week. We appreciate each and every one of you. You made it this far. Give us a like, subscribe, comment.
Buy a shirt.
Send it out to a friend. Make sure you buy a shirt. Check it out. ProWrestlingTees.com. They're very cool. And we will see you next Tuesday, 6:05. Ultimate Wrestling Trivia. The show. Peace out.